Malia, hoping you could open up with tell us about yourself. Tell us about your role at PT Solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm Malia Hostetler. I'm the Senior Manager of Creative Services at PT Solutions Physical Therapy. It's a privately held physical therapy practice based in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been with PT Solutions for about 3.5 years now. Started as a graphic designer, and over time, I've moved into managing our brand standards and overseeing the creation of most of the company's creative assets.
And what was the lay of the land when you started out at PT Solutions, Malia?
Yeah, when I started, the company had around 3,000 employees and about 300 to 350 clinic locations nationwide. We were just starting to grow rapidly. In the 3.5 years since then, we've nearly doubled our employee count and opened more than 200 additional clinics. And from what I can tell, that growth is not going to slow down anytime soon. So with that rapid expansion, we found ourselves in a place where we needed to scale quickly, but at the same time, we needed to keep everything feeling consistent, professional, and aligned with our brand.
Awesome. Leah, you mentioned brand alignment, and that's speaking Marq's language. Could you maybe walk us through what that journey looked like?
Yeah. So with all that rapid growth, a lot of our previously manual processes quickly became really cumbersome and weren't scalable anymore. We were also seeing more brand consistency issues popping up. I cannot tell you how many decks I saw that were being presented to hospital execs that had our old logo stretched, squeezed into the footer, and just using wrong colors, just kind of all over the place. And that started happening more and more often, not just causing confusion, but also making the company as a whole feel unprofessional and out of touch with current standards. Our marketing team hadn't grown at the same pace as the rest of the company. So as more and more people needed support, turnaround times for requests were getting longer and longer, and understandably, that was causing some frustration. So to help ease those pain points, I started looking into templating platforms that would allow teams to self-service for the most common everyday needs. Now, these issues still pop up from time to time, of course, but now that we have a clear, easy to access source of truth, it's a lot easier to guide people to the right assets and keep things consistent.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know a lot of folks tuning in can relate to those stories. Now, one thing folks are always interested in hearing about in our success stories is effective template use. Can you tell us more about some of the effective templates you've rolled out since using Marq?
Yeah. So right now we're beta testing the Marq platform with a group from our sales team. And two of the most popular templates that we've seen them using are bio flyers and bio 4x9 cards. So these pieces promote clinicians in our clinics who specialize in special service lines like pelvic health, speech therapy, things like that. And they help drive referrals to our clinics. We've also seen great success with our event templates. As the name suggests, those templates allow the sales team to quickly create custom flyers for events in their regions and their clinics. So these templates are helping the sales team move faster, and they're ensuring that all of their materials are staying consistent with our brand.
Very exciting, Malia. And I believe these screen grabs are related to some of those examples, but what are your thoughts on sharing some of these in a little bit of a live action format?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, can everybody see my MediaValet templates? Perfect. So this is our templating Marq platform inside of MediaValet, and you can see kind of all these different templates that we have available to the sales team. Lots of different flyers, bio cards, things like that. What I was going to walk through today was one of our event flyers. So here is an event flyer that I've set up, and I have a lot of information and kind of instructions off on the side. That is really just to kind of help our users understand what they should be doing with this piece, how to download it, how to print it through our printer, an example piece so that they can kind of see what one might look like. I have our logo and different assets and bits and pieces of this locked down so nobody can move it, nobody can change it, swap it out, whatever. These sections, these text pieces are editable for content, but not like the color, not the font. People can't change that, but you can go in here and write in their own title. Here, they can go in and update this information for whatever description they want. All of this is editable by the user to put in their information. They can also put in a photo. And this is really cool. I've got MediaValet connected. So we can replace that photo, go into our MediaValet connection. I have a category for headshots already and a few different sections in it. So we can pick who we need and it pops it right in. They can crop it as needed. And that's pretty much an easy kind of high level overview of one of our flyers.
Thanks for sharing that, Malia. I've edited a few pieces of content in my day that may have been a little less polished. The logo may have been, yeah, a little squished. So yeah, I'm not very technical, and I can see how the locking functionality and also the additional instruction layer makes it easy with the guardrails you've established. Really cool. So it looks like Marq templates are helping team members with that centralized area to create on-brand content. I'm curious to know what led you to the journey of exploring DAM systems at PT Solutions.
Yeah, so I had heard about the benefits of DAM systems from past colleagues and figured out pretty quickly that we needed to find a solution to provide a centralized library of sorts for PTS. We were getting repeated requests for the same assets from multiple departments, but there was no single source of truth to make sure that we were all sharing the correct versions. And on top of that, speaking to versions, we were having trouble with version control. Assets were scattered across different platforms, and that caused a lot of duplicates and confusion. So without a centralized place for approved assets, outdated off-brand photos and logos were constantly being used. And that created inconsistency and frustration across the team. And tracking and fixing all of those inconsistencies it was really slowing our team down.
Well, I think a lot of our audience can relate to these stories. What has been your approach since rolling out MediaValet?
We've been using a crawl, walk, run approach to rolling out MediaValet across the company. Early on, I focused on setting up a few branded portals with easy to share links for our most requested assets like approved logos, fonts, colors, photography, things like that. And honestly, just having those portals ready just made a huge difference and gave immediate relief from some of the biggest pain points that we were experiencing without needing to train the entire company in a new platform right away. So setting up a single source of truth for our photography in particular has been a huge game changer. Now everyone can easily find what they need and feel confident that the photos are up to date and approved. Another standout feature that we've been playing with is the facial recognition tool. It's helped us bulk reject old photos of former employees so that people aren't accidentally using outdated images in new materials. MediaValet has also helped us made a big impact on how we're working with our real estate team. We have a centralized place now to share approved logos and signage artwork, especially for our clinics that are co-branded with hospital partners. It's helped us stay on brand and sped up the signage approval process across the board.
Well, yeah, that's amazing. Now that you have both Marq and MediaValet set up, what's been the impact of having that combined solution? Or rather, what are some of the ways you're using the systems in tandem?
So one of the great things about using MediaValet and Marq together, it's how much it's simplifying our content workflow. With the new experience update in MediaValet, our users can now upload finished pieces directly from Marq into MediaValet. And that small change is saving a lot of time and keeping everything in one place. It's becoming a one-stop shop for our teams. Our sales teams, for example, can create brand-approved content, find existing assets, or repurpose materials, all in that same connected system. Faster, easier, it's helping us stay consistent with our branding. A quick example of that As you saw earlier, we've got teams that create bio cards using a Marq template that we've got. Once they finish a card, they can push it straight into MediaValet. And from there, it is pushed automatically to a branded portal and that's synced up. And from there, anybody who needs it can access it instantly. And that's been a really big help in keeping everybody aligned on creative content.
That's very exciting, Malia. And I think we're teasing our audience with this screen grab. Would you mind maybe hopping back onto your screen and maybe sharing a couple of these live examples?
Yeah, absolutely. So here you guys can see our brand asset library that I put together kind of first thing when we first signed up with MediaValet. So here I've got our style guide, PDF, all of our typically standard horizontal and vertical type logos, fonts, color codes, all the important things there. I've also put together a portal for our approved photography. That way, it's one link that everybody can easily send out across the company, and everybody can feel confident that they are using approved photos. And this library is synced to a category in our MediaValet library. So as we make changes, as we reject photos, as we change things and upload things, it's automatically added to this portal. So we don't have to manage that, which is really amazing. Plus there's a search feature in here, which is really cool. And going along with that search, the AI recognition and search that MediaValet has is really cool. So we can literally search for, we had an event a few months ago called She Is Football. I can go in through our MediaValet portal, or not even portal, our library, search She Is Football. All of these photos come back from the event. But say I want to find specific photos of one person who was at the event. I want to see every photo that she's in. I can just add her name to my search. And because I have tagged her as a person, a recognized person, the AI tool, it just goes in and it finds all the photos that she is in, which is amazing and has made it so simple to get rid of old employees, old photos, and things like that. So that's awesome. Very helpful. And then last but not least, I mentioned that we've got a portal where bio cards that are created get automatically brought into MediaValet and then synced right into a portal. Here's where it goes. And all the sales team can access this and see all of the approved collateral, all the pieces that we have available to them. And it has just been, it's been super helpful having that source of truth.
That's incredible, Malia. And thank you so much for sharing what's worked well. Can you tell us a little bit about what does the future of maximizing these tools look like at PT Solutions?
Over the next few months, I'm planning to roll out MediaValet more broadly across the company. Once we've uploaded most of the collateral and assets, more team members are going to be able to search for what they need on their own, either directly through MediaValet or through the portals that we've already set up. We're also looking at an integration with our website, so to help us manage the images and assets that appear there in real time. Our internal design team has also started experimenting with the CI Hub integration, which connects the tools that we're already using, like InDesign, Photoshop, things like that, directly to MediaValet. It's helping streamline the way we access and manage our files. We're also using the Drive integration with CI Hub, and that's been another win. It's allowing us to locate, use, and sync MediaValet files right from the desktop. So we don't need to jump between the platforms, which has been really a time saver. Looking ahead, we are planning to build out even more templates in Marq, especially for frequently used materials like flyers, one-pagers, brochures, things like that. Goal is to make it really easy for anyone to create content that's on brand and ready to use. We're also planning to expand access to Marq across more teams so that they can benefit from that same time savings and creative flexibility. I'm really excited about what's ahead. MediaValet and Marq are really helping our team move towards more self-service, more fewer one-off content requests, and that just gives more time for our team to focus on strategic, high-impact work.
Awesome. Well, Malia, thank you for that overview. Um, and Patrick, thank you for your insights as well. This time, I think we do have a few minutes for open questions. Ian, I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat here. Question coming in. What advice would you give to organizations just starting to scale their creative operations? Um, Malia, do you want to? I know that's a probably a layered question, but
Yes.
want to take a stab there? Mm.
Yeah, so I will say that it took us quite a while to get into getting approved for a templating program like Marq and MediaValet. One of the things that helped us kind of to start that process was really honestly tracking the requests that we were getting. So we use Asana as our like project management platform. We set up easy forms for people to actually submit their requests to the team. And once we had that kind of process in place, it was much easier for us to track how many requests we were getting. Once you have that tracking in place and you can report out on that to like team leaders and people like that, it was much easier to kind of get that push like, hey, our team is really bogged down with 300 requests a month or whatever the amount is. And that helped us a lot to kind of sell this templating platform, to sell Marq to our execs. And it's just been really fun to see that free up our time. And once they start to see that, it was easier. Hopefully that helped.
Awesome. I'm keeping an eye. There's a couple other good questions coming in. One is, are the templates you have created from scratch or are in Marq, or did you have any existing templates that you kind of converted over and added your branding in? So
Yeah, great question. Pretty much all of the templates that we're currently using are ones that we had from scratch that I had already designed and we were using in InDesign. And so what I've been doing is exporting them out as IDMLs and importing them back in through Marq, and then going back in and like tweaking things, locking things down, adjusting as needed. That's how we've been doing it. I have been looking into more of the Marq templates just to kind of move a little faster on new pieces. But most of what we've been doing has been internal InDesign files that we already had.
perfect. And I think that answers the second question, which was what tools, and that you're using InDesign as a means of importing them into Marq. Another question, how has the integration between MediaValet and Marq impacted collaboration between your marketing team and the non-design teams?
So right now, I would say it's allowing a much smoother connection for at least for existing pieces. Like if somebody comes to us and we would get constantly questions about, can you send me the logo? Hey, can you send me like, what's our color code? Or do you have any photos for athletic training? Things like that. That integration, like having MediaValet has really helped allow us to just have a single source of truth. I can just send them a link quickly and say, here you go, have at it. The integration between the Marq part, as I said, we're not fully, we're still kind of beta testing with a smaller team, but that has also significantly decreased our repeatable, like the templating tasks, the requests that we're getting. We would get tons of them from the same kind of couple team members, and allowing them access to Marq has really freed up that time and kind of increases the collaboration, because now we are able to spend a little bit more time on like the custom requests that maybe we don't have a template for yet, or maybe it's like a one-off that is not going to be solved by a Marq template at this point, at least. And that has really helped our team free up time, and also helped empower the non-creative team members in the company.
Awesome. Just keeping an eye on the chat here. Another one is what was the ramp up slash onboarding like for MediaValet and Marq? Did you feel like it was easy to train up and ramp up in both platforms?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. And so far, in the small kind of user groups that we've got accessing both platforms, they both seem quite user friendly. I tend to do like a quick 30-minute training session with new team members, or like groups every quarter or something. We might put out like a, hey, we're going to do 30 minutes where it's just a refresher on how to update Marq templates, how to work in Marq, how to work in MediaValet. And we really haven't had too much pushback from team members being like, I can't figure this out, I don't know how to work it. Like, I think between the off content, like the off the page instructions, and then the kind of constant touches of, hey, reach out if you need help, and having those sessions kind of quick training, plus Marq and MediaValet both have really good help and training modules out there also that are really helpful for the team members too. So it's been fairly easy, actually.
Another question sounds like coming from Justin. Sounds like you have buy-in from other departments. How has that process been?
So that is an interesting question, because you're right. There are certain departments where it's been easier to launch this, basically, and some struggled a little bit in the beginning, just because, I mean, I'm sure people can relate to this in the creative world. Sometimes there's a bit of pushback between somebody asking one team to create stuff for them, and then being told, well, now you can create it yourself. There's been a little bit of friction there, here and there, but on the whole, like, that has it's been a pretty easy hurdle when we explain, and they can literally see the difference in timing. That has been a huge part, because when it's just our small team, they're waiting weeks for one of these bio flyers. When now they have access, they can get it created literally the same day that they want it, that they think about it. So that has, I think, getting those team members in it has helped a lot with that buy-in. And I think it's going to help us expand the access out to even more departments. It also helps with our like real estate department, having that source of truth. Like, we were struggling, we're still going through some growing pains with it, of course, but having like a source of truth that we can push back and say like, hey, these are the logos, these are the signage files. Like, if it's not in MediaValet, it has not been approved, and we need to have further discussions. So that has, I think, just having that source of truth is helping other team members kind of buy into the whole new world.
Great insight. Keeping an eye here. I think we might be close at time, but thanks for everyone who submitted questions. Those are all really good questions. Um, Ian, as the uh, host of the presentation, I am kind of going to lean on you to maybe announce wrapping this up.
Yeah. Really appreciate you jumping on, Malia and Patrick as well. Really great insights. I'd love to get in on the inside of someone's dam, and it, yeah, just great to see it in action. But yeah, really appreciate you coming along, Steve. Thanks for hosting. Again, we have another session kicking off at 11:30 PST with Dave Malloy. But again, Malia, thanks for joining us. Patrick, thanks for joining us. And yeah, it's been a good one.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks all.
Bye, folks.